This week, I wanted to show you our setup to receive laying hens. See, we got our chickens about a week ago, and one of the important things over the years I've learned about having laying hens, like they're not far. Here's the start of the permaculture orchard. But we try not to start them in there. When they come, these are confinement house chickens. They can be kind of dumb. They're not knowledgeable in the natural ways. They've been born and raised in a barn. So we like to raise them right here in the front yard where we can keep an eye on them and give them a chance. So they've been going at the grass pretty good. They're learning. They have to learn to eat grass, can you imagine? And we give them a few of their essentials. One of them is we give them grit. You see? That's grit. They're not as keen on this. This is a larger size gravel. And then we give them some. We've been giving them, we got lots of sand here. We're on sandy soil. So we gave them some sand. So you tell me, is it important for them to have grit and sand or not? Look at the birds, they'll tell you. And they've actually been eating this like unreal. You could see that they have not had enough grit or minerals in their diet. And so they're eating more sand than they're eating feed, if you can imagine. That's just because they need it. They have a need in their digestive system to properly populate and inoculate their digestion. So I gave them this as a dust bath, but they've actually been eating the sand as if it was food. So it's a pretty simple setup. Give them their basic food, and we give them a mixed grain to start the season. Water. So here's our simple water bath. We give them grit and a dust bath, and ideally give them a cup of, the fence is live right now, so I gotta be careful. And we give them 2 sources of water, so that one and the water tub here. The other thing, we give them a pen, and I want to modify this pen. I started setting up I'll show that in the Eggmobile when I get that all going and how we built it. And then we give them in their pen, a very simple pen. This is a pen on 2 skis, and it's got perches all the way through. Maybe you can see that inside there. So the inside is just a series of perches they use at night. We put their food in there and their water in there. And at the back, you see that this structure here, that's their nest boxes. So we give them 3 boxes is plenty for 20 hens. They haven't started to lay. These are young pullets. But the big secret that I've learned over the years is, as much as we like having birds out on the pasture, out in the permaculture orchard, we love having the chickens work in there, but we have to, and you will have to, train your predators to an electric fence. So you see we got an electric fence, but the big trick, and this is a great trick, and this is, every time we do this, it's worked extremely well. We have not lost birds unless a bird decides to go from there and fly out and fly outside of the enclosure. Take a look here. You see that? You see we've got we got one fence, and then we got a second fence. And there's a run here in between. This run is predator training alley. So you imagine a predator going along, and what they do at night, especially at night, is they walk along the fence and they're testing. They're looking for a spot where the fence has a gap. And we almost want them to find one little gap. And then, once they find the gap, now we play predator pinball. So that predator is walking through here going ding, 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 banging each electrified fence. And it is a memorable experience for that predator. So we know that every predator that's here, that goes around in the orchard, we want them trained to predator pinball. Because once they've gone through that experience, they will no longer even come close to the electric fence. They see that and they run. They even my dog, who was trained, Bo's been trained 3 years to the electric fence. She won't even go to the bird bath to drink water because it's within 10 feet of the electric fence. So an electrified fence, and this is Electronet from Premier One Supplies. I'm not doing an ad for them, but it's really good electric fencing. So this fence, the idea is once the predator has this imprinted in their brain and they have been shocked by it, it is a psychological barrier. It isn't a physical barrier. Look at this, you know. How hard is it for a predator to go through this? It's flimsy. It's not a big deal. But they won't go through it because once they have learned, hey girls, once they've learned what this fence is about, and these chickens have learned it already, they know they won't come close to the fence to touch it. So you want your chickens, you want your predators to have a psychological experience with a fence. And then they will not only respect it, so they won't challenge the fence, they won't push on it, they will actually keep away, keep a distance from the fence. So that's what you want for a successful raising of chickens. And we start with 2 fences. So this is actually 2 complete Electronet fences that we set up as this paddock here. And after they've been trained, so we try to give them 2 weeks in here, so that they're trained and the predators are well trained. And after that, we'll be running single fence through the orchard, surrounding an area of the orchard and letting them work that for several days. So that's the biggest trick I can share with you about receiving birds, training your predators, and having good success with whether it's laying hens or turkeys or broilers or whatever birds you're raising. It would even work with rabbits. And then have a lot more peace, at least from ground predators. Aerial predators is a different story. We've been very fortunate not to have aerial predators. We have lots of them around. They don't like to come in with all these trees around, to come in and... I don't know what that was. Something just flew by. So ground predators anyway are kept at bay from this. So hope you enjoyed this starter for getting the chickens, laying hens to function and work efficiently in your permaculture orchard or your garden or your property. And the girls and I wish you a great week. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. Intrigued? Check out the virtual tour of the permaculture orchard. Have trees already? Pruningcourse.com. Subscribe, please. Check out some of the other videos or playlists. There's more to come. Stay tuned. Bye. What was I going to say? Forgot what I was going to say.